Coach, in pregame, you talked about wanting the team to come out aggressive. You can just kind of talk about the team's aggressiveness because it seemed like they had that aggressiveness the entire game, just kind of let it get away from them. Shots weren't falling in the fourth.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I thought that the intent, the purpose, the intensity, whatever word you want to kind of sum it up with, I think they all kind of just come towards competitiveness and trying to impact winning. And I thought that we did a lot of those things to start the game, which I'm really proud of. The group, obviously played some funky lineups there at times with some of the injuries that we had to deal with. But again, just everyone stepping up, being ready to play. I thought that the level of competitiveness did not fall. We were able to do some different things defensively, and the guys were totally just bought in and committed to each other, committed to getting stops. And, unfortunately, I think we fouled a little bit too much. 39 free throws is a ton, and granted, at the end of the game, we were trying to probably pull off a couple fouls so we can do a better job of defending without fouling. But to give up 100 points and just come up a little bit short on some of our open looks, I think that we'll bounce back tomorrow night. So looking forward to kind of filling up our cup and getting ready to compete again tomorrow.
We saw a lot of guys get opportunity. This was probably Josh Okogie's best game since joining the Hornets. Is this really what you expect from him, this kind of effort and intensity that he showcased tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I thought both Joshes did a really good job of impacting the game on both ends of the court. We got to see them both initiate the offense a little bit, be great second side connectors and ball handlers, and they were on the offensive glass, which I thought was huge, out in transition. So a lot of things offensively I thought that they kind of had their fingerprints on, and then defensively, both of those guys are just so scrappy and physical and tough, and that's what we expect out of both of them every night.
No matter the lineup, you always say the standard doesn't change, but when you have a short-handed lineup like today, what differences, if any, arise from you from a coaching standpoint, if any?
Yeah, just trying to figure out how to put the players in the best position possible to be successful. And, some of that's on me. Obviously, we play Musa and Mark and together, and they haven't done that, and the team hasn't, probably really gone through it. But that's what the game kind of called for at that moment, we felt like. We thought that it could give us a little bit of a boost. And so trying to get those two guys to figure out how to play and flow was interesting, but it's part of our growth process. And then obviously half-court sets, like where do they want to be and where do you want them? And even after you tell them where you want them, it might feel different because they haven't done it. And so I think that just everybody's open-mindedness, though, is really cool to see. And I'm really grateful and appreciative for their ability to be open-minded in some of these situations.
Probably one of the better outings from Josh Green tonight as well. And you already spoke a little bit about him, but what do you feel like kind of going on to that, just him being able to play in all those different lineups and, get those different guys around him? What do you think that does for what you're looking for from him?
Yeah, I think that it helps Josh just continue to feel involved in the game because he is such a winner, such a competitor. I don't want him to feel like it's only a defensive side of the ball that we need him to be, those things, that type of competitor, that type of winner. We need him offensively too. And I think that he has the ability, the talent, the IQ to be able to affect the game a lot offensively too. We saw him finish the quarter as a pick and roll ball handler. And he's also initiating the offense and getting us into some dribbles and stuff. And so I'm just happy that he's continuing to find a rhythm and a comfort level. I don't think that he's had this much freedom in an offense in a really long time. And so it's good for his growth. It's good for our team's growth and just helps me be able to have a lot of different people that we can play through. And I think over time it's going to really help him and it's going to help our whole team.
Charles, kind of a big frame question. Tonight's the midpoint of your first NBA season as head coach. We just reflect on that journey so far, some of the ups and downs through tonight.
Yeah, has been some ups and downs, but overall, it's been a lot of fun to grow with this group. Super thankful for the opportunity, obviously, to coach this team and lead this organization. But more importantly, I've just been so happy with the relationships that I've been able to build with the players and, trying to help them grow, I think, as people and as players. And to see that the level of competitiveness, togetherness, habits are changing, mindsets are changing. There's just been a lot of growth, I think, from a lot of people. And they've grown, but they're also helping me grow. And I've learned a lot, I think, about the group, about myself. And, I'm just super thankful for everyone that's kind of just helping along this journey.
You've been asked about him a lot recently, but Nick Smith just continues to see his role grow as people are in and out of the lineup. 6 assists tonight, probably his best game playmaking in this recent stretch of games he's had. Can you talk a little about his passing and how he's done a good job finding teammates in recent games?
Yeah, I think that some of that is obviously his individual work, trying to make it a little bit more of a point of emphasis because he is more than a scorer. Like, he's a player, and he's a great playmaker. And I think that we're just seeing it. And now you got to take what the defense gives you, and you have to be able to adjust from going as kind of just like one of the guys on the scouting report to like one of the main scorers on the scouting report now. So they're going to think about maybe committing two to the ball when you have it because you're one of the main scoring options. And so now his ability to kind of just have a little bit more patience and better pace to not over dribble a seam or to be late with the pass is really encouraging, and it's fun to watch because I know that he is trying to put a lot of effort into that area of his game.
Rewinding back to media day when, all the players were here, you kind of touched on how you wanted Mark to dominate. You wanted to see him kind of be that player. Can you just talk about the current state of centers in the NBA and see how he's going up against a guy like Donovan Clingan, then a guy like Vooch, and kind of how he's adjusting to all these different types of archetypes of centers in today's game?
Yeah, I think he's doing a heck of a job of adjusting because game to game, those guys' abilities differ with how they kind of attack you. And so I think, number one, from a defensive standpoint, he's understanding, Vucevic may be more of a shooting big, and like, where is my level of separation from him when he has the ball or in a pick and roll situation? How am I closing out? What is my technique? Whereas a Klingon is probably more of a roller, and so now you want to stay beneath the roller, not let him get behind you. And then when he catches, his game's a little bit different than even Ayton would have been today. Ayton can hit the mid-range jumper, and Klingon's probably more right around the basket, and so you got to close the gap maybe if Ayton gets it so he doesn't get the jumper. So it's just good for him to continue to play all the different types of bigs, and I think that we're seeing, he's had to take his medicine at times, but he's learning and he's growing. And I think I just continue to see him get better and better. Even today, we were able to switch with him a little bit. So love what he's doing on that end. And then offensively, he's dominating the paint. I think we've seen it over the last few games. And the exciting part for me is he can do more, and he will do more. And so he'll continue to be able to punish some of these switches early in transition. Can we get him a couple more magnet cuts where he has smalls on them? And so I'm just very excited and encouraged for him to continue to play and grow. Thank you.